are seeing the increase in heat-related injuries and illnesses.
Now at 6, how to stay safe in the heat and when we can expect a cool down.
Plus, the search for a missing hiker, where she was last seen, and why a wage hike for healthcare workers across the state is now delayed.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Excessive heat continues in the deserts, while some parts of the county will see temps come down just a bit. Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. I think a lot of us felt this over the weekend.
Yeah.
So we have team coverage for you on the heat. CBS 8's Regina Urita has ways to stay safe. But first, we want to start with meteorologist Evan Irani to let us know what we can expect this week when the relief might be coming, Evan.
Yeah, we get a little bit of relief today into maybe Wednesday or so, but it doesn't really seem like much because temperatures are still expected to exceed average each afternoon. For the mountains and deserts in particular, heat-related alerts remain, for the deserts at least. So it's going to be another hot one out there today. I'm going to move this over so you can therefore see Campo on the right side of the screen. Right now it's 64 degrees, 66 in Oceanside right now, 69 in San Diego. We had some overnight lows still in the 70s up until about an hour ago. Now it looks like most of us are in the upper 60s, and that means there's not a lot of relief overnight. On average, the coastline will make it to 80 this afternoon, 90 inland, and for the mountains, 111 out there for the deserts. When we look at the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, it shows that temperatures are going to be pretty hot out there, remaining through likely the start of July and maybe even through the July 4th holiday. Coming up, we'll talk about whether or not we're going to really see these temperatures slide at all and about some records that we broke over the course of the weekend. CBS 8's Regina Urita now live in Pacific Beach with everything that people need to know to stay cool and stay safe amid our first summer weekend that really warmed us up.
Yeah, good morning, Evan, and I can already feel those temperatures slowly rising. Around this time, it's usually pretty chilly, although it is a lot cooler. It can definitely be a lot cooler than what we would expect later today, but you can get away without wearing a jacket this morning. Now, with the official start of summer happening just a couple days ago, we definitely felt those temperatures this past weekend. A lot of people heading to the beach. It's a great time to cool off, but with that comes some safety precautions, and CAL FIRE is mentioning some of the dangers that this heat can bring.
Are seeing the increase in heat-related injuries and illnesses, so taking those preventative steps to make sure that you're recreating safely.
As a reminder, CAL FIRE is warning people about heat strokes and heat exhaustion. Fire Captain Mike Cornett says there's usually an uptick in rescues on hikes and trails. So if you're planning to go on a hike, start in the early morning hours. I know this past weekend, areas like Santee hit nearly 100 degrees, and it's hotter in other areas in the region. Definitely keep that in mind as you plan your day today. Look for ways to try to stay cool and, most importantly, stay hydrated. An excessive heat warning for the San Diego County desert took effect at 10 a.m. Saturday, but a prolonged heat wave will keep daytime highs maxing out between 110 to 114 degrees through Thursday. So that warning will expire at 8 p.m. that night. So back out here, remember to drink plenty of water, take those sun breaks, check on your pets and their paws because those sidewalks could be extremely dangerous for them. We're live in PB. Regina Urita, CBS 8.
And San Diego police are warning you to be careful in the heat. Right now, they are looking for a missing hiker. Police say 50-year-old Dem Lee Nguyen began hiking with a group on Black Mountain around 8 a.m. yesterday near the Nighthawk Trailhead on Oviedo Way. When they stopped to take a break on the trail, she continued alone. Police say her friends last heard from her around 9:30. That's when she said she reached the end of the trail, but they haven't heard from her since. As a reminder for anyone who plans to hike this summer, make sure to go early to beat the heat, drink lots of water, and don't go alone. We'll keep you posted on whether they find this person.
This morning now, firefighters have a better handle on a wildfire that's burning in Otay Mesa. This right near the Mexico border. You may have noticed the smoke there. CAL FIRE saying the Border 58 fire is now 80% contained. The fire started Saturday afternoon near the Otay Truck Trail. It spread to more than 130 acres. CAL FIRE says we could be seeing a lot more of these fires as we move towards peak fire season. Things are starting to dry out, all that brush. Make sure to clear dry vegetation 100 feet from your home to create defensible space. And a reminder, there are cool zones all around San Diego County. So if you don't have AC and you're struggling in the heat, head out to one of these cool zones. Locations include our county's 33 library branches and community centers. We have a full list at CBS8.com. Just click on the help button. You can get the very latest forecast and have weather alerts sent directly to your phone so you're always aware. Download the free CBS 8 app or visit our website at CBS8.com.
New this morning, Governor Gavin Newsom and legislative leaders have agreed on a $297 billion state budget.
Now, it sounds like a lot, but they say this is to help close the more than $46 billion budget shortfall. CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us live here in studio with details on what they agreed on. Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, good morning. And again, one of the biggest words that we heard here, cut. Because of that budget shortfall, numerous cuts had to be made and planned for, including going into the future. But of course, this isn't all just reductions. There are at least, again, a number of dollars that are being spent for various issues across the state. That includes $1 billion for homeless housing assistance, the expansion of Medi-Cal services for some, and K through 12 school funding was maintained. Now, there is going to be a number of different ways that they're going to pay for this. That includes a temporary tax hike for businesses with more than $1 million in taxable income. That'll last through 2026. But a big part of this deal on paper, of course, are the cuts that came with it. Newsom and Democratic leaders that worked on this budget ended on roughly $16 billion in cuts. There's an 8% reduction across the board for state agencies. $110 million that will be gone from a program that helps middle-class families send kids to college. Another $350 million slashed from state prisons, and more than $1 billion cut from affordable housing programs. Then we take a look at more than 400,000 state healthcare workers. They will have a minimum wage increase delayed. It was supposed to start July 1st, but it won't go into effect until October. That's only if state revenues between July and September are at least 3% higher than projected. Now, the head of the union that represents those healthcare workers said in a statement that they are disappointed they won't receive that raise in the summer, but, quote, they also recognize and appreciate the legislative leaders and the governor that listened to us as we mobilized and spoke out this year to insist that despite a historic budget deficit, California's patient care and healthcare workforce crisis must be addressed. Now, of course, the budget still needs to be passed and signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom. Back to you, Eric.
All right, Chris, thanks for breaking that all down for us. This morning, the San Diego Police Department investigating after thieves stole 2 cars from local rugby players getting ready for the Olympics. It happened at their apartment complex in Mission Valley around 3 a.m. on Thursday. The athletes tell us the thieves stole 1 car, then found more keys inside the glove box and stole that car too. They say there was about $20,000 worth of equipment, including medical bags and rehab gear inside the cars. This is right before the Summer Olympics in Paris with Team USA.
I just want to be able to focus on what's the most important right now. But, things happen. You have to, make do and adapt. But, my intention would love to be more on that than this.
Ultimately, we just want to move past this and get and focus on everything else.
Police have put out a county-wide alert for the missing cars.
Personally, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being tired and sick.
You heard that there, right? Well, people in Imperial Beach want to, quote, stop the stink, they say. So that group you saw rallying over the weekend, calling attention to the sewage-like odor in the air. More and more people in the South Bay are getting sick. And local doctors there in IB think the sewage is to blame, not just from going in the water, but breathing it all in. Today, Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer will talk about a proposal for the county to collect more data on the health effects. The goal is to work with a new task force led by IB's mayor, Paloma Aguirre. They will share more at a news conference happening this morning. We'll keep you updated on that. And let's send it over now to Evan to talk about this heat. Oh, wow, what a weekend.
Another hot day that we have here to kick off the new week. It was a very hot one, especially yesterday, Sunday afternoon, where temperatures exceeded average by more than 10 degrees across most of our county. We are going to hold on to those warm temperatures. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows that going into the 3rd of July at the very least, we'll hold on to those above normal temperatures, especially across the western U.S. There were 5 cities that yesterday morning broke their daily temperature record, but not the afternoon record, the overnight record, meaning typically our temperatures are the coldest, right, in the overnight stretch, our overnight low. And yesterday morning, our overnight lows for Vista, Escondido, Ramona, Campo, Borrego were in the 60s, 70s, and 80s out there. So predominantly 70s. We had 84 for Borrego Springs that broke their previous record set back in 2021, just a couple years ago. Ramona's record was shattered from 1992. So more than 30 years by 3 degrees. Their previous record was 62 overnight as the warmest overnight low temperature. Now their warmest overnight temperature is 65 degrees. Take a look at your forecast highs today. 73 in PB, 78 in San Diego, 84 for La Mesa, and 89 for Santee and El Cajon. We'll take you up to North County. You can see those temperatures are still pretty hot along the coastline. And as you make your way east, 84 for Vista, 85 for San Marcos. Poway's going for a high of 87, and Ramona 92. It's the mountains and deserts where things are especially hot. Still a good idea to avoid hiking over the mountains today just because of these upper 80s and low 90s to work with. And Borrego Springs and Ocotillo Wells still under that excessive heat warning, meaning dangerously hot temperatures exceeding 110 degrees. We get cooler from here Tuesday through Friday, but don't let it fool you, because if we were to show you the 8-day forecast, which we will in just a few minutes, it shows another warm up as we get toward the weekend. So sure, Tuesday through Friday, we cool down a bit. In many cases, we will still stay above normal, especially for tomorrow afternoon. And then Wednesday through Friday is a little bit cooler and more mild before we see another climb into Saturday and Sunday. So if you're making plans already for the upcoming weekend, factor in that these temperatures that are cooler for midweek through the end of it are not going to stay that way. We will warm up once again. Let's check in on traffic. It's 6:11 right now. So far, roads are quiet out there. We've started to see that mid-span on the Coronado Bridge. Speeds are slowing down just a bit. So getting into Coronado, you might be slowing down slightly, but not much beyond that. Let's check in on your border wait times as we start off the morning. 35-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry to start off your Monday. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is only 5 minutes longer. It's going to be about 40 minutes to get across there. Back to you.
Evan, thank you for all of that. And now still ahead here, a famous surfer who even appeared in movies gets killed by a shark.
Plus, it's been 2 years since Roe v. Wade was overturned. What's happening in San Diego today? And a local woman says a pharmacist denied her medication after a miscarriage. What the company is saying.